the Centers for Spiritual Living, we're doing a global vision theme for the year. And so October's theme is, we believe in one indestructible, October is the global vision, global transformation through individual transformation. And we believe in one indestructible, absolute self-existence cause. That is the theme for today. So, of course, I want to talk about that indestructible good. But first I'm going to tell you a story. A story about a stonecutter. So the stonecutter is working, and it's a hot day, and he's doing his job. He's cutting the stone, and it's been a long day, and he's walking home, and he passes this merchant's house, and the merchant has this beautiful house, and lots of people are over, and he's like doing business, and the stonecutter says, oh, if I could only have that, if I could only just receive some of that good, receive some of that love, and have all of these people around me, if only I was the merchant. And all of a sudden, he became the merchant. And so all around him, he had people wanting stuff from him. They wanted goods from him. They wanted services from him. There was all this just overwhelming, because the people they weren't loving him. They wanted things from him. And so he was like, oh my goodness, this is work. This is not what I was expecting. And just then there's trumpets going on the road, and he's like, what is this? And just then an official is coming by, and he's in a parade, and he's in one of those comfortable sedan chairs with velvet on them, and people are carrying him, and everyone is celebrating and bowing down at this official representation, this kingly person. And so he looks up and he says, oh, if only I was that, if only I was this amazing official in official capacity, and all these people would be bowing down to me and loving me and giving me high praise and carrying me around on this beautiful, comfortable chair. If only I was that. And in an instant, with that thought, he became this official. And people were carrying him around on this velvet chair and bowing down to him everywhere he went. Only as he moved through, he could hear the grumbles of I don't want to be bowing down. He was not receiving love. He was receiving the complaints. The taxes are too high. There's no property. There's nowhere for me to live. We're running out of food. All of these complaints were coming in. So he was like, oh, this isn't what I wanted. This is work. This is not what I wanted. And it was like this hot, sunny day, and the chair was itchy, and his official clothes were like making him sweat, and he's like, oh, if only I was the sun beating down, the power the sun has. If only I was just blessing the farmers with warmth and nutrients in their fields. If only I was the sun. People would love me, and I would be powerful. And in an instant, he became the sun. And so he did what he thought he was supposed to do. He was beaming down on everybody, and everyone was looking up and wiping the sweat off their faces, and their crops were wilting, and everything was just complaining. The sun's too hot, the crops are dying, the sun, it's too much. And so he's the sun, and he's like, oh, this is not what I wanted. I wanted to be loved and respected and cherished, and I wanted to be nurturing. And he's thought, oh, if only I was that cloud over there. That cloud that is bringing rain and nourishing the fields and relieving the heat. If only I was that cloud. And in an instant, he became the cloud. And so he did what he thought he was supposed to do. And he rained down upon the fields and the people, and just in absolute, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And now I will be loved. And the fields started to flood, and the rivers became too strong and washed away crops and washed away houses, and the people complained. And the cloud, oh my goodness, will it ever stop raining? And so he just received anger, and he didn't receive the love that he wanted. He wasn't this powerful thing, he was creating devastation. And so he thought, maybe I could just be the wind. The wind is powerful. The wind can blow away these clouds and bring a new, I'll just be the wind. And then people will love me and everything will be okay. And so in an instant he became the wind. And he blew the clouds away. And then he thought he saw the power within him, and he started to blow as hard as he could, and the trees started to go in the wind, and the roofs came off the houses, and tornadoes started, and he was like, now I'm powerful, now I will be this all-powerful, loved thing. But only the people started to complain. It's too windy, our houses are being destroyed, our trees are being wrecked. And so all he felt was this pain and suffering, and he wasn't receiving the love that he so cherished. And he thought, maybe I should just be this mountain. That mountain is strong and powerful, and nothing can move that mountain. Nothing can destroy that mountain. Maybe I'll just be the mountain, and then I will be loved for this powerful, beautiful entity that I am. And in an instant, he became the mountain. And he thought to himself, this is it. This is the power that I was seeking. Nothing can destroy me. I am so strong. I am this great entity, this mountain. And just then, he started feeling this hammer on the side of himself. And he was like, what is that? What is that pain? What is that struggle that I'm feeling over here? And he looked down and he saw a stone cutter. And the stone cutter was taking stone from the mountain to go and build a house. And so he looked at that stone cutter and he thought, wow, that stone cutter is really powerful. He can take away and deconstruct this beautiful mountain that I am. If only I was the stone cutter. And in an instant, he became a stone cutter. And I love this story because what it is that it's about how we are indestructible, how we become that indestructible self is by recognizing the good that we already are. If he just recognized that he was what he was meant to be, a stone cutter is just as powerful as anything else. It's just as perfect as anything else. If only he could just realize that and be grateful for his own personal gift to the world. He was a builder of things, a creator of things, an inventor. And so he already had all of the power within him. And wishing other things only creates more of that same struggle. Without working on that stuff within ourselves, without deconstructing the reasons why we want to be those other things, we are losing that gift that we already are. And so knowing, in this teaching at the Centers for Spiritual Living, we believe that there is one power, one indestructible cause. And that cause is an infinite, unmeasurable, unbreakable thing. And it is spirit, and it is love, and it is joy, it is all those things that we call that highest and best self, that highest expression of the wholeness that we are. And so the story represents that if we can just get to that place, if we can just get to that place where we are grateful for what we have, and we make room to become more of that. We remember and we clear away, we cut the stone away from our lives of all that other stuff. That is our indestructible good. That is recognizing and standing firmly in this place that we are wholeness, that we are the truth of our own being, that we are the light in our expression. And that expression is an infinite source. that expression is infinite and immeasurable, and there's nothing that can take that away from us. You know, Tammy always talks about Viktor Frankl, the search for, man's search for meaning. Yeah, and so everyone knows that story. Do you know? He was in a concentration camp, and the one thing he discovered was that in any horrible place, any horrible situation in your life, the one thing that people can't take away from you is your choice to be happy. So we can choose to be happy. We don't have to sit in any situation, recognizing that situation that we're in is for our highest and greatest good. Right? That stuff we talk about seeping in the poop tea a lot. Like we sit in our stuff and we discover everything we don't want about our situation, and then we reflect on that situation. Like, wow, that was some poop that I was just in, and we're not going to leave that situation. We're not going to leave that feeling until we choose something different for ourselves. Until we realize that our souls are free. My soul is indestructible. And sometimes I wallow in the stuff. Sometimes I'm like, wow, like I thought I would be further along by now. Where this is not where I'm supposed to be. And sometimes when I'm in that stuff, all it takes is a new thought, a new idea, a new changing of my own personal thinking that says, this is not where I'm supposed to be. I take my tea bag out of that stuff and I put it in what I want. So it's all about the power of my mind, the power of my thinking. That makes us free. And that is where we can find that indestructible sense of good. And so I'm gonna open this up for discussion time, because there are some lovely questions that today's 2016 was the first year the Centers for Spiritual Living has ever done a community theme, and so it's all by choice, like whether individual centers have done it, but we have done it. So we get an outline, and the person who created this outline is Reverend Trish Hall, and she has some really great questions for us to dwell on and think about and share our thoughts and wisdom into the room, because there's all this wisdom. You guys are so brilliant and so magnificent and so wonderful, that it is like our gift to receive what it is you have to share with the world. So question to put to the world. If you really believe that you, like your Creator, are made of indestructible God essence, would you place greater faith in your intuition? Would you open to a wider array of possibilities? That intuition, that sense, that, that gut feeling that you get, like, oh, I should be turning this way. That is spirit or source, God trying to get you to go that way.
Sometimes it comes in dreams, sometimes it comes in just a feeling. So intuition was what told me when I was in Winnipeg a few weeks ago. That's where my family is, and just out of the blue, I wasn't prepared for it at all. Out of the blue, my nephew and his wife, who were having a baby, who I didn't even remember actually that they were having a baby that weekend, because I don't talk to my nephew very often. But they were having a baby right at the same time when I was there, and they asked me, will you come and be our doula? Because I have been a birth doula for years past. I haven't done it in a while, and I didn't know if that was something that I was thinking all the way there. I don't even know if I remember how to be a birth doula. I haven't done this in a few years. I don't know if I don't know exactly I'm going to do, and I hope they don't have really high expectations of me because I have no idea what I'm going to do. But I got out of my way because my intuition said, just say yes. When you get the call, you say yes. And I got the call, and I said yes. And it was the most beautiful experience that just a huge, huge gift. And so sometimes intuition is just knowing that this is the time to say yes.
So if you could trust that infinite source, that infinite well is, you're tapped in, you are inside it all the time, and it is inside you. That voice that tells us things that we sometimes disregard, would we pay more attention to it? Would we recognize that, wow, this message must be from source because I'm receiving it, because there's no separation. I am that I am. Would you have any disregard, or would you allow that intuition to just be always present, always listening, always ready?
It's definitely what you want, like it's your goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be more in tune. Speaking personally, the more I run away from it, the more it chases me.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I ignore my spirit guides or ignore a spirit that comes to talk to me for messages or whatever, they just chase me down. Like, doesn't matter where I am. Like, I could be in the middle of the Safeway and I've got somebody's granny going. You know? So yeah, I mean they do. They chase you down until you do what they want to do. And it's the same with the gut feeling, the intuition. I truly believe it comes from God, spirit, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's that innate response in your gut.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes following it leads to letting go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It takes strength to do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the word, and I fear the word surrender. Right? Like that, you know, sometimes I get myself so pushed up against the wall or in the corner that my last resort is to just say, okay, I'm done being in my own way, spirit, take the wheel.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when huge shifts change, when I just surrender and let go. That is when some of the most powerful and beautiful experiences happen in my life. Yeah.
And sometimes it means that you're willing to walk away from something that you think is what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or that you think is what feels safe in your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get what you think you want and it's not what you want at all.
Yeah.
And you go, shit, what now?
Yeah.
Well, and that's where I look back and I see times when I should have followed my intuition,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought I had the right idea. My ego mind is like pretty strong, you know. I'm like a thinker. I have to think things through and I have to figure things out. And figuring things out is exactly the wrong thing to try and do in a lot of circumstances. And it's when I let the mind chatter go and just listen that I move into directions that I wouldn't have expected. And you know, I had a dozen reasons why I shouldn't go to my nephew's birth. My sister should be there. It shouldn't be me. It should be my sister. It's there. It's her grandchild. It should be her. And I was supposed to be helping my mom out. And so, you know, I had all this stuff that I was supposed to be doing. And I haven't done all the things that I need to do. And we're preparing for a family meal the next day. And I can't leave my mom to not do that. And I had all the reasons, but then it just worked out. I was supposed to be there. My sister was supposed to be helping my mom. We just switched places, and it was easy and simple.
Yeah.
But I had a moment of fighting it.
Yeah. I know for myself a lot of that the letting go part it's attachment, right? Like I had several horrible relationships that I was determined to stick it out. Like, and I was willing to take on all of that suffering and all that horrible experience for something, because she was sure good looking. but it was not worth it, right? Like sometimes we try to force the experience and force that relationship, and it's just, sometimes you just need to let go, and it's that the needing to know how, right? The needing to know how, and if we just trust that our source is infinite and that our path is already lit by that divine expression, and every step is on purpose, then we can just trust that we don't need to know how anything is going to work. I don't need to know how I can turn this on and the picture shows up. But I know and trust that it does, as long as it's charged. Right? As long as it's charged, it's going to turn on. And that's the same thing in life. So, what if we could just look in the mirror and trust and know that source, that divine light, that's what's looking back. It's not a reflection of this physical presence, but that we are a reflection of this infinite this infinite light, this infinite presence. And what if we could just look in the mirror every day and see that and know that and feel that? Would we be more compassionate to ourselves?
For sure.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm also taking a class right now, and one of the things that has come up in class is that there's a lot of people that carry around this idea of wrongness, that somehow I'm wrong, or that other people are wrong, that there's like a judgment of either myself or somebody else, and that is a flavor that I carry around with me over my life. And if I could just put down that idea of wrongness, then how would things look differently? And for me, one of the parts of that is that if I could just always be in the knowing, in the remembering that I am a part of infinite spirit. And if spirit is good, then I am good. If this universe is right, then I am right. That's some part of me, and regardless of what I do or don't do in my life, that I'm on the right path. I'm in the right moment. There's no other moment for me to be in. And so I cannot be bad. I cannot be a bad person. It's impossible. And if I just remember that, then, how would that change every day? How would that change when, if something challenging happens and I feel immediately that I need to either justify or be on the defensive in some way? How would that change that? Or how would it change when I see other people going through their day, just doing the best they can with what they have and what they know in every moment, and I choose to have a judgment about that? How would that change that to love and compassion? If instead of having that flavor of wrongness, I could just see the truth, that they are that light of spirit moving through its way in whatever is the right and perfect moment for them.
Well, and that's the work.
That's
right?
the work.
And that's why it's called spiritual practice and not spiritual doneness.
Yeah.
Because every day we practice this. Every day we so we wake up forgetting, because we wake up a little grumpy, and then we have to remind ourselves that this is the day. that I get to choose. This is the day I get to make something different. This is the day that I get to wake up a little bit more to that highest and best self.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why it's practice every day.
Mm.
Okay, so what if, for just the sake of argument, thoughts became things?
That would be scary.
Thank you.
They
do.
Yeah. But what if we knew, really knew, and trusted that our thoughts become things?
We'd be a lot more careful about what we're thinking.
We'd be a lot more careful about what we're thinking. Yeah. How we perceive things, how we plant our next thought, right? We want to make sure that the garden of our mind, we're planting all the pretty flowers instead of the weeds and all that stuff. So how would our lives look different if we really planted our thoughts, our thinking, in that my good is indestructible and my good is right now? If we just planted that seed, what would our lives look like? So we have what we call a fridgeable. We used to print them out, but we like to say paper now. So this is this week's affirmation. And we're going to say together to affirm and plant this seed of thought into mind. So if you feel called to join us, please do. The energy that lives through me is indestructible. There is nothing and no thing that stands in the way of my good. My good is present now. This is the truth. And so I'll just finish up with the treatment for our highest and best good. So join with me in consciousness, HAs, as I recognize right here, right now, my indestructible good. For I know that I am within this one power, this one presence, this divine creative intelligence that moves and flows and has its way with absolutely all of creation. Everything seen and unseen is the substance of this source. And so I know that this is good and creative, and I know that this is loving and joy-filled. For I know that there is this power and presence that is so high, so perfect, so divine, that it is filling me to the brim and overflowing in everything I do, everything I touch. There is nothing that is not this divine guide in every step I take. There is nothing but this divine light in every action I take. And so I know fully and completely right here, right now, that my good is ever present. My good is made known to me in ways I can see and touch and feel and hear. My good is present in every experience because I am open to receive. I am open and willing to exchange that good, to share it, to share my light, my gift, my knowing with every single person that comes into contact with me. I release and let go of anything I'm holding on to that does not serve this highest and best expression of my good. I release and let go of any beliefs or thoughts that hold me back and hinder my growth from that highest and best expression of who I'm meant to be. For I know that that power, that presence, that love, that joy is the purpose that is in every moment of my life. And so freely I express this, that all of this good, all of this faith in prosperity and abundance is made known to me right here, right now. It is perfectly whole, for I am whole. It is perfectly complete, for I am complete. And everything around me is built up in ways that are joyful expressions of this infinite source. And this good is the expression of my life. And I give thanks for this. I'm filled with every cell of my body, recognizing and vibrating on that sense of gratitude, unconditional thanksgiving, and profound outpouring of this gratitude. I know that it returns to me in ways that I can see and know and feel and touch. For gratitude is the blessing on my life, and I give thanks for this moment, this sacred gift right here, right now. I give thanks for this expression that moves through my way, clears the path. I give thanks for everything that is whole and perfect in my life. And in this moment of thanksgiving, I fill my heart, my soul, my mind with love and joy as I release my word. I let it go. I allow it to be made known in front of me in perfect demonstration, perfect manifestation, in perfect form, right before me, in ways that are immeasurable, yet touchable. So grateful, so thankful, and so it is.
So it is.